Hi, friends. My name is Cassie Phillips, and if you don't know who I am the original writer and creator of the Let Them Mantra, the Let Them poem. It's from a series of writings that I did several years ago, but they went organically viral in 2022 on social media across different platforms, on Facebook, on TikTok. Um, and it led to a tattoo movement. I have the words tattooed on my arm, and it's actually something that people were requesting I write for them in my own handwriting, and they got it tattooed on their bodies. And you'll see a lot of items all across many shops with my handwriting and let them plastered on everything. You'll see my poem, and that's not really why I'm here. I wanted to introduce myself because I plan on doing something where I control the narrative and I tell you the Let Them story. And it's important for me to get this story out. And I do plan on doing the podcast. I do plan on being interviewed. I do plan on my book coming out. I do plan on all these things. But this is really just a way for me to talk about what's on my mind and the journey with Let Them and what's happening. And before I can really do that, I want to tell you about the future of Let Them, what I want for Let Them, what I want for Let Me, for Let You, and a little bit of an update. So, with what I wrote several years ago, I need people to understand how important it is to me. All right. Obviously, I got it tattooed on my body, but I don't think many quite understand. I don't plan on not talking about Let Them. I don't plan on giving it up for any reason because this is something that changed my life. It saved my life. It saved many lives of people that I know, people that have now become my friends. My writings propel me through everyday life. It helps me understand things. It helps me want to understand people, to continue on with gentle compassion and healing behaviors. And that's important to me. And it's also important that people understand the origins of it and let them. A lot of people say, stems from Stoicism, and that's great because I honestly had no idea. I never did any studying on that. And I have been to college. I work at a nursing home. I have discussions with people all the time that I would consider based around Stoicism and Buddhism and all these topics, and that's great. I love it. It's wonderful. However, Let Them actually came to me after I had listened to TikTok videos with Tyler Perry's Medea's Sound, where it's said, if people want to walk out of your life, let them go. And I remember hearing it constantly, and it resonated with me. And although I don't say let them go, I actually say let them because it made me understand that I cannot control the actions of those around me, but I can control my actions and what I choose to do next. And that's where let them and let me came from. And obviously, later on, I started saying let you because let them was something I had to learn for myself. I had to let them so I could let me. And after that basically happened, I got into a form of healing where I was comfortable with telling people, let you. You have to let you deserve good things. And that's what I'm doing by making this video. A lot of people are asking, why did you come forward now? And why not then? And all these different questions. And I have some answers for you, but I need people to understand that I will never have all the answers. Nobody does. And if anybody tells you that they have all the answers, you should run in the opposite direction very, very fast. That's advice I will give to anybody. But I do have a lot of answers for my own story and my own timeline of my own story. And what I can tell you is I did not feel like I was in a place where I could give advice to people. I thought I had to be at this end stage of healing. I thought there was a timeline of when everything would be put together, perfectly packaged, and it would have this big bow with a tag on it that said healed. However, healing is not linear. And I learned this through my journey. And I learned that there's going to be good days and bad days. And there's never going to be a complete packaged package present of healed. And it took me a long time to understand that. But what can happen is a version of healing where we're constantly healing and we're constantly wanting to do better and we're sharing our experiences and it's helping people and we're helping ourselves. And that's what I want to do. That's what this is about. Now, with Let Them, I had to let people lose me so I could find me. And that may not make sense to a lot of people, but it made perfect sense to me when I packed up my children in a vehicle in black trash bags and I left a life that I had always known to something different and to something new. And I had to do that. When I tell you I had to, I was experiencing different versions of domestic violence and I had to do that. And this was during a time when I had no one, and I thought I had no one, and I thought that I had no support group. And then I learned that I needed to be more independent and depend on myself. And then it started this awesome community of women where we all joined together and helped each other, and thus started what I call the Let Them movement. And it's really important to me that it continues on. So I need people to understand that aggression is not the answer that I want to put out there for everything. I know there are loud voices that have joined in on the movement. I know that they have kind of taken control of everything. And, I'm glad that it's getting exposure. However, some of the things that are being spoken on, I don't agree with. No, I was not ever given recognition by this person or the loudest voice that you may hear talking about Let Them. It was never a situation that was discussed. I've never been credited. And I was hoping for compassion and I was hoping for a gentle explanation. However, it never came. So I need people to understand that I'm doing something about this and that is my business. And it's not something that I should have to share with everyone. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, are you going to do something? Are you doing this? And if I am, I am. And if I'm not, it's really not anybody's business. However, what I do want to make everyone's business is that everybody understands that this is, I believe in moving in silence. And that's what I'll say on that. However, going on the future of Let Them, things that are going to be happening, and I don't know how fast they're going to be happening, but I do want to tell you what my plans are. There will be a podcast. I would love to share my experiences with people. I would love to hear people's experiences. I would love to heal together because we're always going to be healing. And as long as we're moving in the right direction, I think that's perfect. And there's people who have asked me to join their podcast and to come on there for interviews, and I plan to. There are interviews on media outlets, and I plan to. I have a book coming out. I have more writings coming out. There's going to be a whole future with Let Them and Let Me and Let You. And I need people to understand that it's happening and it's happening at my pace. Um, and the reason why, because I know that's really important for people, is to understand why. We are only given so much time on this earth, and I feel like what we choose to do with that time is the mark we leave behind. I have been given a very limited amount of time, and I don't want to take that for granted. I don't want to take for granted that I could be helping people, and I've spent this time kind of licking my own wounds and self pitying myself. Self pity. um, Life is hard, but it's harder when we don't take control of what we can and when things are going fast. Sometimes it's good for us to slow down, but that doesn't mean we should stop completely. And that's something I'm learning for myself, that it's not okay to give up. It's only okay to slow down. And that is something I'm telling myself now. And I'm telling other people that too. I have two beautiful children. I still like to volunteer and coach in my community. I'm very involved in my local community. I am a writer, I am a reader, I am a friend. I am a mom. I am all these things that are important to me. And I also work at a nursing home by choice. I love my old people. I love my residents, and that's important to me. And it's important to share any knowledge I have learned and for me to continuously learn. And that's the most important thing with this journey for me is to know and recognize I'm only here for a short time and I've got to make it worthwhile. And I need to make sure that I help others along the way. That's what this Let Them story is going to be about. And this is going to be a little bit of my own secret, as I'm calling it, my secret videoing of everything. And it's going to include my life, it's going to include a lot of things, and I get to do it. Me. The other stuff other people can do when I join their podcast, when I do the interviews, when I do the traveling, when I do all that stuff that somebody else is taking control of. This is the part that I get to control. This is the part where I get to talk about what I want to, where I get to release my emotions for the day, where I get to vent, where I get to read your comments and everything. So once you find me, I know it's going to happen. Say hello on here. Share if you must. Follow along for the story. My Let Them story.